Today we're going to talk about the lesson factoring an expression of the form x squared plus bx plus c. Last time we tried to factor something like this. We would ask, is there any number that goes into 1, 5, and 6 other than 1? And the answer is no. Can I factor out an a? No, I cannot. So today we're going to learn a new method how to factor an equation such as this one in that have a number 1 here in the front. This is only going to work if there's a 1 right there. Okay? And the way you do it is like this. You start with the last number. The last number here is 6. So you come here to your scratch piece of paper and you write number 6. Then you ask yourself, what is 6 divided by 1? 6 divided by 1 is 6. You can even use a calculator. Okay? And the next number after 1 is 2. So can I divide 6 by 2? And the answer is yes. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then the next number would be 3, but 3 is already on the list. So we're done. Okay, so these are my two options, 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Now I'm going to ask myself, if I add or subtract any of these two numbers, would it give me the number 5, the number in the middle? Okay, well, if I look at it, 2 plus 3 is 5. So that's one option. And also, if I do 6 minus 1, also gives me 5. So both of these options are valid options. They both will give me 5. So that means I have two opportunities to factor. Okay, so so you can begin from any one of the two. So let's say I begin with the first pair. So I'm going to open two sets of parentheses. Okay, I'm going to put the letter A here. Why do I put an A? Because this problem is just with A. If this was X, I would be putting X's there. Now, I said I'm going to try 1 and 6, so I'm going to put 1 and 6 over here. Okay? Now, the biggest digit here, 6, is going to have the same sign as the middle term. The middle term here is number 5, has a positive sign, so that means the biggest digit, number 6, or digit 6, will have a positive sign. Now that you know that 6 is positive, you need to ask yourself, positive 6 plus 1 or minus 1 give me positive 5. Well, positive 6 minus 1 is the one that gives me positive 5. So if you notice, positive 6 minus 1 gives me 5. Great. Now the final check is, if I do negative 1 times 6, would negative 1 times 6 give me positive 6? And the answer is no. Negative 1 times positive 6 give me negative 6. This is not what I see over here. So that tells me that this doesn't work. That tells me that this choice is a no-no. So luckily, I have another option that also gives me 5. So let's take a look. Let's open parentheses. And let's put the two numbers there, 2 and 3. And like I said before, the sign of the biggest digit is the same sign as the middle term. The middle term here is positive 5, so I put a positive there. And now that I have positive 3, I ask myself, do I want positive 3 plus 2 or minus 2 give me positive 5? And the correct answer is positive. Positive 3 plus 2 equals positive 5. Final check. When I multiply these two numbers, do I get this last number over here? Positive 2 times positive 3, is it equal to positive 6? The answer is yes. So guess what? We got our answer. Okay. Let's go ahead and skip number 2 right now and go to number 3. Okay. So I'm going to come over here to the side. So let me move a little across. All right. So I'm going to look at the last number 42. I'm going to ask myself, 42 divided by 1. Can I divide by 1? You bet. 1 times 42. How about 2? Can I divide 42 by 2? The answer is yes, it's 21. How about 3? 42 divided by 3 is 14. You can use the calculator to do this. All you have to do is punch it in 42 and divide it by 2. And if the calculator gives you a whole number, you write that whole number down. 42 divided by 3, punch it in, you got 14. If I do divide 42 by 4, guess what? I'm going to get a decimal. That tells me what? That I cannot divide 42 by 4 and get a whole number. So it's not part of my list. So then I go to number 5, 42 divided by 5. When I punch it in the calculator, does it give me a whole number? No. How about 6? Punch it in the calculator. Yes, it does. So 42 divided by 6 is 7. The next number on the line is 7. 7 is already there. I know I have finished my list. Looking at these 4 options, these 4 pairs of numbers, which pair, when adding or subtracting, will give me my middle term 11? Well, if I look at it, 6 plus 7 is 13. 7 minus 6 is 1. That doesn't work. 3 plus 14 is 17. 14 minus 3 is 11. That works. 21 plus 2 is 23. 21 minus 2 is 19. That doesn't work. 42 plus 1 is 43. 42 minus 1 is 41. That doesn't work. So the only one that works is 3 and 14. So I'm going to come over here, open my parentheses, and I'm going to write 3 and 14. Alright, now remember, the biggest digit has the same sign as the middle term, so I'm going to put a positive right there. Once I put my positive there, or my sign over here, I'm going to ask, positive 14 plus 3 or minus 3 give me positive 11. And the answer is negative. 14 minus 3 is 11. So I'm going to put a minus or a negative sign right there. Final check. Negative 3 times 14, does it give me positive 42? Well, 3 times 14 is 42, but we have a big problem because negative times a positive is a negative, and right here I have a positive sign. So guess what? This doesn't work. So I go back to my list over here and I say, do I have any other options? And the only option I had was this one. So guess what? There's no factoring. So therefore you're going to write prime. Very well. Now let's go back to problem number 2 that we skipped. Okay. Remember, if I'm moving too fast, you can always stop the video and return it. You know, the power of technology. Alright? Okay, we have x squared plus x minus 2. Alright, we're going to write number 2 over here on the side. I'm going to say, can I divide it by 1? 2 divided by 1 is 2. The next number is 2. 2 is already in the list. I am done with my list. Second question. If I add or subtract these numbers, will it give me, is there a number here? Remember Superman? Dun, da, 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 da. Invisible 1. So if I add or subtract this number, will I get a 1? The answer is 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. So yes, this works. So when I open parentheses, put the x there, put 1 and 2. Alright, sign of the biggest is the same as the middle term, so this will be positive. Sign of the other number, you need to ask yourself, 2 plus 1 or 2 minus 1 gives me 1. The answer is minus. 2 minus 1 gives me the 1. And final question, negative 1 times positive 2. Does it give me negative 2? And the answer is yes. So therefore, this answer is valid. All right, let's go to problem number 4. All right, we start with number 6. We ask ourselves, what numbers give me 6? So it'll be 1 and 6. Next number is 2 and 3. Next number is 3. It's already on the list. I'm done. You ask yourself, what numbers would give me 5? 2 plus 3 is 5, so that works. 6 minus 1 is 5, also works. So which one should I begin? Well, I don't know, so just pick one. No. Let's say I pick the first one. Sometimes it's just the luck, you know. So let's put A. Okay, I'm gonna put 1 and 6. Sign of the biggest is negative. So negative 6 plus 1 or minus 1 give me negative 5. The answer is positive. Negative 6 plus 1 gives me negative 5. Final check. Positive 1 times negative 6. Will it give me negative 6? Yes. Guess what? I picked the right answer. Okay, if I had picked this one, I probably would have a problem with the signs, and I'll probably have to cross it out and try problem 1 and 6. So sometimes it's just you have to try it out, and sometimes you get it the first time. Sometimes you have to try the second pair, or sometimes you might have even a third pair. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go to the next page, which is page 8. So So we're going to work on problem number 5. Okay. All right, so we're on top of page number 8. And first thing we're going to do, we'll start with 36. And then we'll ask ourselves, can I divide 36 by 1? And the answer is yes. 36 divided by 1 is 36. Can I divide it by 2? Yes, is 18. Can I divide it by 3? Yes, is 12. How about 4? Yes, is 9. 5? Nope. 6? Yes. The answer is 6. 6 is already over here, so I know I'm done with my list. So I have 5 options that I'm asking, will any of them give me 11 when I add or subtract? So let's give it a try. 6 plus 6 is 12. 6 minus 6 is 0. Doesn't work. 4 plus 9 is 13. 9 minus 4 is 5. Doesn't work. 3 plus 12 is 15. 12 minus 3 is 9. Does not work. 2 plus 18 is 20. 18 minus 2 is 16. Doesn't work. 36 minus 1 is 35. 36 plus 1 is 37. Doesn't work. Guess what? Nobody works. So guess what? This is going to be prime, because nobody gives me that 11 that I'm looking for. Okay? All right. So let's proceed now to problem number 6. And if you look at problem number 6, you should notice there's something here that wasn't there on the previous examples. And if you didn't figure it out, is this number here. Remember what I told you? This method only works if I see what here? The number 1. The problem here is I have a number 2. So I will not be able to use the method, but upon looking at the other numbers carefully, I notice, these numbers are all multiples of 2. So that means I can factor a 2 from all 3 terms. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and divide each term by 2 and see what happens. Well, 2y squared divided by 2 will be y squared. 14y divided by 2 will be negative 7y. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. So look at that. I was able to factor out a number 2. Now, if I forget about this 2 for a second, and I look at this equation now, aha, I have that 1 that I was looking for. Now I can apply the method that we learned. So, I go to the side of my paper and I write 6, and I try to come up with the factors of 6. 6 divided by 1 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Next number is 3. My list is finished. Look at these numbers and which pair will give me 7 when I add and subtract. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. That doesn't work. 6 plus 1 is 7. Aha, that works. So I'm going to open 2 sets of parentheses. Now, one thing about this is, remember we took out this 2? You need to bring it down, because that's part of the answer, okay? Alright, so we write the y, and we're going to write 1 and 6. Alright, so remember, the biggest digit has the same sign of the middle term, so this would be negative. And then you ask yourself, negative 6 plus 1 or minus 1 give me negative 7. The answer is negative. Final check. Negative 1 times negative 6, will it give me positive 6? And the answer is yes. So my final answer is 2 times, open parentheses, y minus 1, close parentheses, times y minus 6. Okay, you must include this 2 over here. Okay? Alright, so that concludes our example, part A of our lesson. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to skip example B, and we are going to do the practice problems on the bottom of the page, problems 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the back side of page 8, 5, and 6. So take a few minutes to try these problems, stop the video, and let's see what you get. And once you got the answers, you can proceed to see the answers on the video. Okay, so pause the video. Welcome back, and here are the answers for problems 1 and 3. These are the answers that you should have achieved. Please check your answers. Okay, here are the answers for problems 2 and 4. I want to comment on problem number 4. There are a lot of students thought that this was the answer. But remember, you need to do the final check. Negative 3 to negative 5 does not give me negative 15. So that means 3 and 5 does not work. There's no other option. So that means the answer is prime. So make sure every time do the final check. This times this should give you this. And then this and this combined should give you the middle term. Okay. Alright, let's proceed to the back side, page number 8. And for problem number 5, this is one of those problems where you have to factor out the 2. So the 2 is outside. Now I have a 1 here, so I can do the factoring. So if you roll for 84 here, you probably forgot that I don't have a 1 there. So that won't work. Okay, so here are my factors. The one that works is 3 and 14. Okay, don't forget to write the number 2 to bring down that number that you factored. Okay, and problem number 6, the same thing happened. We noticed that we can factor out the 7. So I factor out the 7, we got an equation with the 1 in the front, broke down 1 equals 1 times 1, and we notice that 1 plus 1 equals 2. So we do that, got the sign, and got our answer. Don't forget to write the 7 as part of your answer. Okay, very well. So now you're ready to tackle the assignment, which is on the bottom of the page. You're only going to do part A since we did example A, and the answers are right here on the side. So what you want to do is try these problems without looking at the answers, and when you get the final answer, you check, did I get the right answer? Okay? All right. That then concludes our presentation, our lesson on factoring, and I'll see you next time.